Good morning, students and staff. This morning we're broadcasting to you from Mrs. Bales' second grade class. So Mrs. Bales and her class welcomes you to school. Hope you had a great weekend and are ready for another great week of school. Some announcements. First of all, we did sell out all the tickets for our holiday luncheon, so that is full. However, if you were not able to buy a ticket from your parents, they can still come and sit with you at the luncheon. They just won't be able to buy a meal because we sold out all of our meals. So if they want to bring a lunch with them and still sit with you, they may do so. Our elementary Christmas program is this Thursday. And so this Thursday evening, that's for grades kindergarten, second grade, fourth grade, and WTS Live. They'll be performing this Thursday. You need to be in your classrooms by 6:45, and the program will start right at 7 o'clock. Good News Club, you are rescheduling your event that was canceled because school was canceled, and that's going to be tomorrow, actually, this Tuesday from 2:45 to 4 o'clock in the large group room, and that's for first through fifth graders, and the title is In the Beginning There Was Football? I don't think so, but come and find out. Also, we'll be starting to collect money and canned goods for our Angel Tree students. Those are needy students from this area, from our school actually. And so if you want to bring in canned goods, please do so, or non-perishable food items, as well as any kind of money that you want to donate for their presents. Just give all that to your teachers. So we're starting that. And it'll be this week and next week. We are having Math Bowl practice today at 11:10 in Mrs. Dabrowski's room. That's fourth and fifth graders interested in Math Bowl. You'll have a practice today during lunchtime, 11:10 in Mrs. Dabrowski's room. And as most of you know, we had Secret Santa Shop last week, and some of you, or all of you rather, filled out little tickets for our raffle. And so I have the winners of our prize raffle. And basically, I'll just name them from each class because there's quite a few of them. So if you hear your name read off, you can come down to the office and claim your prize. So starting with kindergarten, Mrs. Noose, we have Camden and Quinn. Mrs. Bauer has Charlie and Audrey. Mrs. Betcher has Dillinger, and Miss Hittinger has Bruce and Laney. In first grade, Mrs. Higgins has Gian. Mrs. Stoner has Austin, Lucy, and Gracie. Mrs. Thomas has Easton and Ariana. Mrs. Bales has Lewis, Piper, and Hayden. Mrs. Katuvis-Priwi has Dalen, Emma, and Kylie. Mrs. Russell, Alexis, Quinn, and Jody. Then Mrs. Dibbles has Caden, Mason, and Patrick. Mrs. Miller, Nico, Jackson, and Luke. Mrs. Panthy, Hunter, Carter, and Sydney. Mr. Chowning, Danny, Peyton, and Catherine. Mrs. Glover, Rebecca, and Christian. Mr. Lemke, Jackson, Maya, Cam, and Claire. And in fifth grade, Mrs. Krieger has Brianna, Rob, and Samantha. Mr. Roberts, Noah, Colton, and Adam. And Mrs. Dabrowski, Jasmine, Aiden, and Runank. So if you heard your name for your class, come down to the office sometime today to pick up your prize. And Student of the Week from last week. We did have a full week of school finally. So Mrs. Higgins is Maya Evans. Welcome to Washington Township. Mrs. Stoners is Grayson Kunda for working hard to improve listening. Mrs. Thomas is Alexander Hanrith for working hard on his math facts. Mrs. Bales is Max Pierce for working hard to earn 100% on his weekly assessments. Mrs. Katuvis-Priwi is Charlotte Duncan for working hard and trying her best. Mrs. Russells is Courtney Bauer for having super behavior and putting a lot of effort into her work. Let's see if I've got him here. Mrs. Dibbles, Lucas Ferguson for working so well with others. You're a great example. Mrs. Millers is Nico Jordan for being such a big help in the classroom. Mrs. Panthes, Hannah Ewing for being a role model in our class. Like your positive comments. Mr. Chownings, Connor Wheat. Mrs. Glover's, Kian Cantrell for doing such a great job on his Part 1 Maniac McGee test. Mr. Lemke's, Sammy Orshansky for doing a great job on his Maniac McGee test. Mrs. Kriegers is Abby Vermillion for representing us well at the robotics competition and her good behavior. Mr. Roberts, Will Booman for excellence in morning math. And Mrs. Zabrowski's Layla Reeder for always working hard. Congratulations to you all. And a few dumb jokes to start our week off.
Why did the man throw the thermometer out the window?
I don't know, Lexi, why did the man throw the thermometer out the window?
He wanted to see the temperature drop.
Want to see the temperature drop.
Where do frogs kiss at Christmas?
Where do frogs kiss at Christmas?
Under the mistletoe.
Under the mistletoe.
What is a cat's favorite Christmas song?
I don't know, Haley, what is the cat's favorite Christmas song?
The first meow.
The first meow. Thanks and have a great week.